in the lives of the grandchildren. She likes to stay out of it. But yet, there was always the times that somehow she got involved. And she would start, she doesn't like to get involved, but this time, it was always, someone asked her, it was always, she felt that it was the right thing, it was always selfless. When I had a son, after I had we named two girls after Papa was nifter, and then we had a son, and it was assumed for already years that our first son, after he was nifter, would be named Mary Yehuda after Papa. Mom had just been recovering. From a serious surgery and wasn't able to come to the bris. Not long after the baby was born, there was discussion of what the name would be because Eli Wolf had been nifter shortly before that. Right when I heard Mama call up, I knew how she was going to start. I knew she was going to say, I don't like to get involved in the life of the grandchildren, but I have something to tell you. And sure enough, that's what she said. I prepared my response. My response was, of course, we're going to name our child after Papa. No question. We thought about it. We talked about it, and this was our decision. The conversation went differently. She told me that she thought it was right, covered for the other grandfather, to use a name for the other grandfather. I told her that. I appreciate her understanding. We decided to do our words. She insisted. She told me, anyone that knew Papa knows that this is certainly true. She told me, Papa went to want you. Tears. She used his name at anyone else's expense. Chazal tell us, this is what she wanted, and this is what she insisted, this is what we did. This story has many happy endings. 2 years later, we had another child. We named him Mary Yehuda. At that time, even though she was just about 90, she was able to join us for the Shalom Zachar, participate in the song of Shalom Zachar just like she had done so many years before for me, participate in the bris, to watch them grow. One of the last sentences that she said, she was at my house for Shabbos, and she was watching and Ahmed Zev read his Chumash. And she said to me, you should be proud of how he's learning. The children, even the young ones, even in their older years, realize how much she loved them. And in turn, they always loved to be together with her. That was the selflessness that she always was trying to do for others. Just want to make a couple other points before concluding. Firstly, I know the other grandchildren are speaking, but I believe that on behalf of all the grandchildren, I could say that we're in awe of the courage that was shown to Mama by her children, by their spouses, to leave whatever in the middle of, to take care of whatever has to be taken care of. But it'd be to make sure that she would have kiddush, that she'd have the food that she likes, that she'd be in the perfect place for Yontif, whatever it was, every little decision. Especially, and on behalf of my siblings and their spouses, what we saw, Emma and Daddy, taking care of some of the day-by-day things so meticulously, so carefully. I would say that they took care of it as if it was themselves, but I think it was so much more. It was going much more beyond what you would want for yourself. It was so much detail, so much care that went into it, no words could describe. The past 20 years, this is what we saw. First with Daddy's parents, and now, past years with Mama. For 20 years we saw this Kibbutz Avayim, and we hope that you'll be Zaycha to the bracha that the Torah gives for Kibbutz Avayim, Abarichas Yamim Tov. Even as a 90-year-old living in Baltimore, Mama was still concerned about personal growth, coming to shiurim, trying to soak up as much as she could. And this was what she loved to do. And she encouraged her family. She was a part of Papa's learning of his shiurim, taking care of things that he could be able to go to shiurim, encouraging the grandchildren, encouraging the great-grandchildren, and their learning, even in brachas. She would love to answer amen when the children would say brachas. She would encourage them to say brachas out loud. She could answer amen. She would give them a quarter. She would give them a treat to be able to answer amen to their brachas. This was something that was so special to her. On a personal note, I must say that when I was writing my first sefer, Mama, without being asked, I didn't approach her. She wanted very much to dedicate the sefer in memory of her parents. She did. She drew it together with her siblings. The second sefer also is dedicated by her in memory of Papa. She asked her nieces and nephews to be involved in dedicating the sefer in memory of her brother, in memory of their father. This was something that was part of her showing the chashivas for Torah, showing the chashivas for those that learn Torah. She would tell me often, from the time I was young, she would talk about that the schus of the learning. She would mention, she would say that you should learn for the schus of your father. She should learn because of her parents and her papa. She would say that when they see the learning that the descendants are doing, this is what makes them kvel. That was her expression. Now, it's our opportunity to learn in her schos, so that she should kvel, she should get the nachas from what she started, what she built. If I could suggest, such a family that she has, children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, it's customary to learn Mishnayos in memory of somebody. If I could suggest that besides for the customary learning of Mishnayos that people take, perhaps we could arrange some kind of Mishnayos specifically from her family, from the children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren, and spouses, perhaps to finish or to do as much as we can as chus for her. I'll try either to coordinate with you if you could, try to contact, if we can make some kind of, we can make some kind of arrangement. I would think that maybe that would be a chus where she could kvel from us. I just want to end, first of all, on behalf of myself and my siblings, asking mechila from her for anything that we might have done. Also, just wanted to say, as I mentioned when I started, we're very fortunate, very privileged to have had grandparents for all these years. I think that I could say, and many of the other grandchildren could say the same thing, that there wasn't a Rosh Hashanah that I could remember. I can't say for sure every single Rosh Hashanah, but there wasn't a Rosh Hashanah that went by that before Rosh Hashanah I didn't speak to her, didn't get a bracha from her. A bracha that you could feel, that was coming straight from the heart. Many of the years, in my younger years, I was there I was at her house for Rosh Hashanah. And then afterwards, either on the phone or in person, I can't remember a year that I didn't have that bracha. That was part of, as a children, that was part of the Erev Rosh Hashanah ritual, is the brachas from the grandparents. Even this year, we went to visit Mama on Erev Rosh Hashanah.